Jane Mallard.
Thank you, Mr Acting President. In late July, I was privileged to represent the New South Wales Parliament in a delegation to Guangdong province in China to commemorate the 40th anniversary of the sister state relationship between the province of Guangdong and the state of New South Wales. The sister state relationship was formalised in September 1979. It was the first one between an Australian state and a province in China. The purpose of the relationship is to expand friendly relations between the regions by developing economic, trade, investment, cultural and other links. The delegation was a non-partisan delegation and included members from both houses, both major parties, and indeed a prominent crossbencher in this House, our colleague the Honourable Robert Balzac, joined us. It was led by our President, the Honourable John Ajaka, and funded under the auspices of the CPA. The 5-day visit is one of several high-profile delegations to celebrate this auspicious anniversary, including the visit by the New South Wales Governor, the Honourable Margaret Beazley AOQC, which was being prepared as we visited. Over the 5 busy days, we met with political and business leaders to extol the virtues of our relationship and doing business in New South Wales. We flew direct from Sydney to Guangzhou, the capital of Guangdong, and coincidentally the sister city to Sydney. Just that action alone reminded us that there are direct flights to Sydney from 22 cities in China. It also prompted me to regularly talk about the new airport and aerotropolis being built in Western Sydney. We met with the Guangdong Development and Reform Commission, toured the ancient town of Yongxingfang, and had an excellent meeting and dinner hosted by the charming Madame Li Yumei, who is the chairwoman of the Standing Committee of the Guangdong Provincial People's Congress. I recalled in a toast at that dinner that night that in 1994 I accompanied a delegation from Guangdong who visited Sydney and New South Wales to mark our 15th anniversary as sister states, and Madame Li encouraged my return for the all-important 50th anniversary in 10 years' time. The meeting with the Guangdong Department of Culture and Tourism was an opportunity to discuss the opportunities of Sydney's second airport will present for increased two-way tourism and business between our two states. We concluded our visit to Guangzhou by touring the Nansha Pearl Bay development area and one of China's largest shipping container ports. As usual, when visiting China, we were left in awe of the size and ambition of the government's infrastructure and development plans and activities in that region. A quick flight to Shenzhen, the second largest city in Guangdong and a close neighbour to Hong Kong, allowed us to see a fully planned city just a few decades old. Our meeting with the Shenzhen People's Congress was formal and businesslike, but the highlight of this leg of our delegation was the businesses we visited, including a visionary company called BYD, which stands for Build Your Dreams, a business that specialises in manufacturing electric vehicles, including cars, commercial vans, heavy vehicles and trucks, including garbage trucks, buses and various trains. That was a truly inspiring visit and highlights how China is geared up for the electric transport revolution that is underway. The other business on our call list was Huawei, where we toured their overwhelming university-style campus and experienced firsthand the incredible electronic technology that they are developing. Mr Acting President, it can't be ignored that the relationship between our two states is being buffeted by external pressures. We can't gild the lily. The US trade tensions, the 5G decision by the Commonwealth Government and the plight of several Australian citizens detained in China, and of course the violence that was emerging at the time in Hong Kong are issues in the background of the state relationship. However, the delegation, capably led by Mr President, remained focused on our 40-year state friendship, and to quote Mr President, we reminded our friends regularly in China that New South Wales is open for business. I'd like to put on the record my appreciation of the work preparing our extensive itinerary by the New South Wales Government Trade and Investment Office in Guangzhou, and particularly the ever-professional Commissioner, Mr Murray Davis. I'd also like to put on the record the equally impressive assistance to the delegation by the Australian Consul General to Guangzhou, Mr Jason Roberts, who's about to commence as Deputy Ambassador in Beijing, and their respective staff. Finally, I acknowledge the invitation to visit and the assistance of the New South Wales Chinese Consul General, Mr Guo Zhaozhao. Mr Acting President, there's no denying that Australia, and particularly New South Wales' future and prosperity is intrinsically locked to that of China as she grows and becomes more prosperous and influential in global politics and economy. It is relationships like that of the New South Wales and Guangdong that will stand the test of time, and successful parliamentary delegations like the one we just undertook that will reinforce our longer-term friendships.
The Honourable Courtney Hughes.